Low pay clouds U.S. job growth. The U.S. unemployment rate is dropping, but the hiring rate is climbing at a slow pace. Nevertheless, many of the jobs that have been created were in the low-wage industries. The Department of Labor states that more than half of the job gains are in the restaurant and retail sectors, both of which pay well under $20 an hour on average. These jobs count as jobs in the jobs reports, but there is very little attention paid to the nature of these jobs, said Arne Kalberg, a sociology professor at the University of North Carolina and the author of the book, Good Jobs, Bad Jobs. They tend to be low-wage jobs, and they tend to be in retail and personal service type sectors. Many of them are part-time. But the drop in the unemployment rate is also the result of a job market that remains too weak to draw back workers who dropped out of the labor force. About 6.6 million people claim that they need a job, yet they are not being counted in the unemployment pool because they are not actively looking. The conflicting job market signals add complications to the work of the Federal Reserve as it considers when to begin winding down its $85 billion a month bond buying program, which is meant to spur economic growth. The Fed has stated that it expects the unemployment rate to reach about 7%, at which time it will stop buying bonds, a milestone that can now be within reach by the year end. Companies that are hiring tend to be in industries that cannot as easily boost sales without adding workers. Such sectors typically pay lower wages. Over the past year, lower-paying sectors such as retail, restaurants, hotels, and temporary help agencies accounted for more than 40% of the job growth. Many of these jobs are part-time. The share of Americans working part-time, which spiked during the recession, has shown little improvement and has been trending upward for much of this year. The internet retail giant Amazon announced that it has added more than 5,000 full-time jobs in its distribution centers across the country. Many of the jobs pay $11 an hour or less, although the company expresses that their workers will qualify for health insurance and other benefits, including stock grants and tuition subsidies. In our viewpoint, these are great jobs, said Amazon spokeswoman Kelly Cheeseman. Economist Heidi Shearholz thinks that such trends are likely to continue as long as unemployment stays high and hiring remains weak. There's nothing putting upward pressure on wage growth. Your employer doesn't have to pay you big wage increases when they know you don't have outside options, said Ms. Shearholz.